it's a good story. Maybe they thought they had like a really good story. Like it was like this
Yeah.
emotional punch that like they're like,
It's
we're gonna hit
like
him. I'm gonna hit him
it's like the
hard.
Citizen Kane
Right.
of like uh horror movies about wax towns.
It's exactly that film. Well said.
What's going on, everyone? 2025 is the 20th anniversary of Joe Loves Crappy Movies, and we are taking a look back at the movies of Joe Loves Crappy Movies. So, Joe, what are we talking about this week?
Today we are talking about House of Wax. It's the 2005 remake about teenagers that get killed in a house of wax.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a house of wax before?
I feel like I've probably been to like, was it Madame Tussauds?
Sure.
I feel like I may have been like, I don't know. Do they have one down the shore, like Atlantic City or something like that?
Yeah. They probably have like a rinky-dink one.
Yeah.
Like yeah. Or that might actually be like a Ripley's, believe it or
It might
not,
be a
with a bunch
Ripley's,
of
yeah.
wax statue. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. I feel like houses of wax should be more common, but they are few and far between. And I'm always surprised by how expensive it is. Like, I don't want to slam these people, but it is expensive to go in there and look at these wax
Well,
sculptures.
I mean, you got to pay for that air conditioning, man.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's
down
like
the shore. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Especially down the shore. Now, when it comes to a wax statue, what's better? A beautiful, perfect recreation, or if they say like, here's Leonardo DiCaprio, and it does not look like Leonardo DiCaprio. It just looks like some busted, like, like it's a mess. Which one would you rather see?
I don't know because I don't know anything about House of Wax the movie, but like I have a distinct memory of watching this movie on like Saturday afternoons where like um I think it is they go into like a wax museum or something like that where like they step into like these scenes and they become transported into those scenes.
Oh, that's really cool. That's not this
Um,
movie.
but I don't know that I want to be killed by Leonardo DiCaprio, like an actual Leonardo DiCaprio, or like a monstrous version of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right, yeah. Like the one that like you're like, Leo? Is that you? I just want to know who's killing me for sure. Yeah. No, I get that. That's cool. I saw this movie in Las Vegas. I was in Las Vegas for the first and only time. It was like a family vacation, and I was like, I'm in another state. I'm a movie crazy person. I want to see a movie in Nevada. Let's do it. And I normally don't seek out, or back then especially, I didn't really seek out horror movies. It wasn't really my thing. But I was with my brother-in-law, and he's a huge horror fan, and he's like, "What do you want to see?" And I was like, "I'm down for anything," because I was just so happy to have company. um, and he's like, "Let's go see House of Wax." I said, "Okay." And I don't know if it's because I had never seen or I hadn't seen a bunch of horror movies in that time period of my life, but this one hit me pretty hard. There's some really gruesome stuff, and I remember specifically being so surprised that the main character gets maimed. Like in the first maybe 30 or 40 minutes, she gets a finger cut off. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And like it seemed like a huge deal to me. Of course it's not. Like things like this happen all the time in horror movies. It's not a huge deal. Now that I've seen a bunch more horror movies, this feels a little tame by comparison. But certainly at the time, I was like, oh, House of Wax goes hard. um, this stars, I always pronounce her name wrong. It's Alicia Cuthbert from 24 and from tons of stuff. And it stars Chad Michael Murray and Paris Hilton. It's a real, and Jared Padalecki's in it. It's a real CW, WB
Yeah.
sort of cast, which I'm not mad about. It's just 2005, and like you want to, like they want to cast recognizable people, and these people are good enough to run and scream. Like it's not like heavy lifting or anything, like acting wise. So I wasn't too upset about it. And even though the Paris Hilton thing was total stunt casting, like that was definitely like let's get people into the seats with a cross the board star. And she wasn't a draw for me, but I mean, I get it. I get it. I get what they're doing. Let's see here. It was directed by Jaume Collet Serra, who I didn't recognize right away, but the deeper I looked into this guy's the movies he's made since, the more I loved him. Okay, are you ready? He did, so he did this. He did a bunch of generic Liam Neeson action movies. He did Run All Night. He did The Commuter. He did Nonstop. He did Retribution. Oh, Retribution was like a year ago. All right, this guy's a little up and down. Oh wait, these are his producer credits. Hold on one second. Let me get his director credits. Because his director credits, I was like, holy cow. All right. He did Orphan. Do you know Orphan?
I don't know Orphan.
It's a little girl. She needs to be adopted. But spoilers, she's really a 40-year-old lady. And she's crazy. She just looks like a little girl. Anyway. He did that, and he did all those. He seriously did like 4 or 5 of these Liam Neeson movies. But then he did like Jungle Cruise, which is the Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie for Disney, which was decent. I was like, oh, okay, cool. He did Black Adam, and I was like, what's happening? And I know there's a lot of hate for Black Adam, but I rewatched that recently with the kids, and like, there's good stuff there. Like, I'm not anti Black Adam. It does so many great things with the secondary characters you never get to see. So then he did Carry On, which was a Netflix movie that came out last year, which is a great concept. And I was like, oh, it was a lot of fun too. And he just recently did a movie called The Woman in the Yard that I watched on Peacock, and was surprisingly spooky. It worked for me. So, but then all of these are like, oh, these are all not great, but good movies. Like, I enjoyed all these movies that I'm seeing. And then I saw The Shallows, which is the Blake Lively shark movie.
Oh,
Have you ever seen that?
I have not seen that.
That one's great. And that's the best on his list. And I was really happy with that. And I'm sorry I spent so much time talking about this guy's resume, but I was genuinely surprised to see most of it on the list. And it made me really appreciate what he did 20 years ago in House of Wax a lot more. Because he does go hard with it. It's these kids, they take a shortcut to go to a football game or something, and they get like one of the cars breaks down, they get separated, and they end up in this town of wax. And there's a wax museum, and it's actually made of wax. Like, they go up to the building, they scrape the building, like everything inside is made of wax, but the building itself is also made of wax. And I have questions about that. Like, how does that work? How, like, is it never hot in the South? Like, that in this area of the South? Like,
do they explain why all this, like, why everything is made of wax?
There is a little bit of backstory put into it about how this woman, she was like the star of the town, and like, everybody loved her, and she sort of was famous for her beautiful wax sculptures, and she built a whole town around it, like, and then she had kids, and the kids ruined her life. Not to spoil anything, but there are a couple kids in this movie that are grown up and angry, and they're they're almost exclusively the cause of the murders that happen. It's hard. Like, the opening scene is like these 2 kids as little kids. You don't see their faces, but it's like them having breakfast, and like one is like, "Oh, you're such a good boy. We love you. Eat your cereal." Blah blah blah. And then the other one, they're like, "Get in your chair." They like lock him down. It's horrifying. And later it's revealed that on the back of the chair, their names are written. One says, spoilers. One says Bo and one says Vincent. And the font that they're printed in is, I swear to God, it's papyrus. And I was like, this is a level of abuse that I was not prepared for. And these poor kids are subjected to papyrus at such a young age. It's heartbreaking. Like I said before, there's good scares here. It's definitely action packed. They tease you with it too. Like, no one dies for a while. Like, you have a core group of 5 or 6 kids, and you would expect someone would die in the first scene, but they don't. Like, it's drawn out in a nice way, so that when it happens, it is upsetting and disturbing. And the best death, I'm surprised to say this, but it is Paris Hilton. Spoilers, Paris Hilton dies.
I
But
mean,
I mean, spoilers for her whole performance. She's actually pretty good. She feels pretty genuine in this. She seems scared when she's supposed to be scared, and she seems like when they're having conversations, she seems like a normal person. So kudos to her. And when she had to run away from the bad guy, it was great. And when she dies, it's great. Like they really are like, we're gonna kill Paris Hilton hard, and they do. Does this hold up? I feel like this holds up. I had not seen it in a long while, but I enjoyed it when I watched it this week. It was hard to find though. Like I was surprised it wasn't streaming anywhere.
yeah,
So I just ended up renting it. But I'm glad I did. It was a fun one to go back to.
yeah. Because it's funny that we're talking about a Paris Hilton. I guess can you call it a Paris Hilton movie? I don't know. Like she's in it, but it's
I
not
mean,
really her movie.
she's probably the biggest star in it, but she's not the star.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But I heard a radio ad with her in it like past couple days. She's transitioned to like into the part of her I don't want to say career, but her life where now she is promoting Hilton hotels.
For real?
Yeah,
They're like it's time. Like
it's time basically.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, because it's weird because like if you think about it, like she was probably in her 20s when she made House of Wax, which is 20 years ago. So she's probably in her 40s. Um, and everybody who knows her is probably also in their 40s. Like anybody that like grew up with her as
right.
like
Yeah,
a pop culture icon. Like, and now they're of age where like they're probably going to a lot of hotels now.
absolutely. It totally makes sense that like 40 and 50-year-olds who were totally into her during her reality TV show career and everything. It's true. They would be like, "Oh, I love Paris. I used to love Paris Hilton.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll stay at Hilton." It totally makes sense. Um, Good for her. Yeah.
yeah. I did see her like maybe a couple years ago. She was like on a Bon Appetit video and where they were trying different berries, and I did not recognize her at first.
Really? She doesn't look that
Yeah,
much different though, does she?
she had different hair and like it was just like a different like it took me like a second to realize it was her.
Did she have like a different sort of presence? Like she's sort of famous for being sort of like a um, laissez-faire. What's the name? One of the personalities in Inside Out 2 perfectly describes what I'm trying to say, and I can't remember which one it is.
I would help you, but I have not seen Inside Out 2
Yeah.
or 1, but either one.
So if she's behaving and communicating and interacting with people in a normal way now, that's a huge step back from like the That's Hot era of Paris Hilton.
Yeah. It definitely was like something more than the That's Hot
Okay,
like personality that she had. But
that's
like
great.
I feel like not that much more than
Okay,
that. Like
I will say
she was speaking like a normal person. It wasn't like all like catchphrases and things like that, but like, you know.
Nicole Richie, who was her friend at the time and reality show partner in the shows that she did, she did win me over. She was like she appeared on sitcoms later on in her career, and she was hilarious and so much fun. So yeah, but she was not in House of Wax. I don't know if this movie must have not have done well because we do not live in a world where there is a House of Wax extended universe, and that's probably for the
Yeah.
best.
So did you mention that this is a remake?
This is a remake, and I didn't finish, but I did begin watching I think it's from the 1950s, and it stars Vincent Price. And
Okay.
starts with a big fist fight. That's so great. He's like, this is a man that's never been in a fist fight in his life, and he's like, and there's a fire all around him, and all the wax is melting. It was actually kind of a beautiful scene. But I was like, yeah, I need to really give this 100% of my attention. So I turned it off when I could go back to it later. Um, I do want to talk some deep spoilers for a minute because the end of this movie gets super duper hokey, and it has a lot to do with why the bad guys are so bad. So super spoiler time. If you haven't seen House of Wax and you want to go in fresh, come back later. So the two killers are these two twins, and they were born as Siamese twins, and they were connected by the head, like one, like here's the one kid's head and here's the other kid's head. So they were facing the same direction. So one of the kids' heads was like merged here, and the dad surgically removed the two. And so one is scarred and one is beautiful or whatever. And there's a lot of misdirect about which one's which in terms of which one's the, like from that opening scene of the bad kid and the good kid, which one was which. Um, so there's a little bit of mystery there, and that's fun. Like, good for them for adding that in, and they really do like build up this huge backstory. But anyway, so there are these. It's a big thing that they were separated, and it gets so weird at the end of the movie because Cuthbert's character has to run up the stairs, which are melting, and her feet get stuck a little bit. But one of the twins is following her up. The other one is already dead in the basement. And she runs into a room and she turns around and she locks the door. In that room it's like the master bedroom. In that room is a crib. In the crib is a wax sculpture of Siamese twins that are joined at the head and they're babies. And it's like, oh, I mean, every house of wax has to have one, right? Anyway, so she puts the crib up against the door to block him from coming through, but the door is also melting because it is also made of wax,
right?
everything's melting. Yeah. So the killer shoves a knife through the door and brings it down and cuts the twins right at the spot without looking, without knowing what he's cutting. He cut the perfect slice, right? And it's like, well, that's a little weird. Like, should they have done that? And then after a brief fight and Chad Michael Murray joins the fight, they knock the second twin onto the bed, which is melting, on top of the floor, which is melting, and he ends up crashing down through all the levels of the house. And he lands where? On his brother's body with the head perfectly lined up. And it's like,
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Does he land where like there's like some melted wax on his head, so like they are joined again?
Right. He tries to get up and he's like, ah! I mean, that doesn't happen, but oh my God. So it's like that stuff at the end. It's just like, it was way too heavy handed. Like, I don't know what they thought they had. Like, it's a good story. Maybe they thought they had like a really good story. Like, it was like this emotional punch that like, they're like, I'm going to hit him. I'm going to hit him hard.
Citizen Kane
right.
of like, horror movies about wax towns.
It's exactly that, Phil. Well said. No, yeah, it's like he crashed into his brother and he screams Rosebud. Like, it's not that though. Like, it's a shame too because the rest of it, none of the what leads up to that is as hokey as those couple moments. And there's another one, but it's not as bad as that. But like the cutting through the baby and then just them being like, it's like, oh, they're together again, just as they were in the beginning. And there's just like a river of wax melting up around them. Anyway, House of Wax, totally fun.
Nice.
Have you seen House of Wax?
I have not seen House of Wax. So I mentioned a horror movie that I watched on like Saturday afternoons, like at the beginning of this video, and I'm actually kind of curious what that movie is now.
Yeah.
Because I thought maybe like it was like a version of House of Wax, but it sounds like those are not anywhere close to each other.
I'm just gonna take a shot and Google horror movie museum different worlds. Nope, nothing's coming up. The Hollywood Museum. I should type in 80s too.
Yeah. So I've not seen House of Wax, and it sounds like you don't own it either.
I do not. Probably because it was. I really thought it was very scary at the time. I was like, I mean, watching it back all these years later, I was like, oh, it's not so bad. There's cool stuff, like, but when she gets her finger cut off, I was like, oh my God, she's never gonna get her finger back. I was like,
well, like as you were mentioning that, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, they have to shoot like a bunch of scenes now with her with like one less finger. Like they have to spend the special effects budget on that.
No. And then the next scene, she gets a hefty bandage and wraps it up. So she's got like this, like the whole time, just like this big thing. She's got it for 2/3 of the movie, probably.
Okay.
But I immediately like when watching it this time, I was like, oh, how many characters have lost body parts and still carried on? And in my like, so there must be so many, but immediately I thought of Ash, just like,
Yeah.
like he really knew what to do when he lost his hand.
He didn't lose his hand; he cut off his hand.
Did he? Oh, because it was evil. It was evil. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
he did the
evil.
right thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he had to.
Uh, and I imagined her with a little chainsaw on her finger, like a finger-sized chainsaw.
If people are looking to watch something with similar vibes to House of Wax, do you have a recommendation?
Thought I did, but I can't remember it. All right, let me answer this properly. No, I have no recommendation this week. Because all these movies from that time were kind of the same. Like,
Yeah.
like it definitely feels like a CW movie. So, just pick your favorite genre of horror. Like, do you like ghosts? Do you like, you know, knowing what people did last summer? And then go out and apply that to one of these CW movies, and you'll get something good. Because, I mean, I'm kind of talking about them in a real general way, but most of those movies are totally watchable and fun. So, yeah.
So, any other parting thoughts on House of Wax?
Um, yeah, I wish they made more. Like, I totally would watch more wax movies. I got to see that original one. See how that turns out.
Yeah. And then whatever movie that I'm thinking of when I like.
Oh yeah, if somebody could tell us what that is, I'll watch it and I'll let you know how it is, and I'll
Yeah.
make Phil watch it and we'll talk about it.
Well, I mean, I honestly don't know if I watched all of it, but because like it was one of those things where it's like it was on like Saturday afternoons a lot. So like I would like I would turn on the TV and then, like it would be on it at some part of it, usually the end. So I've definitely watched the end. It's kind of like me and Tremors for a while. Like I used to like only ever watch Tremors like Saturday nights because like I mean I would always catch the very end of it. I never knew how the movie started for like the longest time.
You're like, I can't even imagine a world where these characters live and there's not worms everywhere.
But that Wax movie is also similar, where like I can picture like the end of it, but I don't know how it starts.
We are going to do some serious detective work when we stop recording here, but if people out there know, save us the time, let us know, and
Yeah,
we'll watch it.
if you know what movie we're talking about, or if there are other like House of Wax type movies, drop us a comment below and we'll check them out, or at least we'll look them up. I don't promise that we'll watch them, but well, we might because we did watch Metro.
Metro, yeah.
There's always that possibility. So, Joe, do you know what we're going to be talking about next week?
It's the Robert Rodriguez film, The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Rodriguez is great because the beginning of that sentence started out Robert Rodriguez, but it could go either way, like crazy sexy vampires or green screen kids movie. Like these guys' directions. I've seen that a bunch over the years because I have kids and because it's been on, and it's a good movie, and I'm excited to rewatch it again. Although it's weird, I think my kids are getting to the age where they're not going to rewatch it with me, and I'm going to be a guy just watching Shark Boy and Lava Girl, just at my desk, just like. But no, no, maybe they will. Who knows? They didn't watch Pacifier with me a couple weeks ago. I'll tell you that. They're like, no, I'm good.
All right, everyone. So feel free to drop us a comment if you know what movie I'm thinking of or any other House of Wax movies. Be sure to give us this video a like, and if you're not a subscriber, feel free to subscribe. And we will catch you all in the next one.